also mandate sex education in religious schools. We actually believe in today's scenario, Africa has the highest STD or HIV rate in the world as of now. We actually believe that this is caused because of the lack of spread of information regarding sexually transmitted diseases and regarding safety and promotion and actually preventing STDs. Thirdly, we believe that thousands of people get unwanted pregnancies due to this lack of information in today's scenario as of now. So we're going to define the motion as we mandate sex education in religious schools. We require religious schools to actually integrate sex education to their grade school students in Africa as of now. So the parameters of this debate are simple. We're going to be debating about this in Africa, religious schools in Africa, and how this will actually make a difference in today's society. So what we actually want to do in this debate is first and foremost for mechanisms. The UN will make a standardized course which integrates religion and sex education, and they will implement this in religious schools in Africa. Secondly, the UN will provide instructors for this certain course, and these instructors will actually sit down, be oriented in both sex education and religion, so they can integrate this in order to promote both values in society as well. Thirdly, this will be implemented for grade 6 students. So in this debate, I'm going to be arguing on two issues. First and foremost is the right of information of society. Secondly is how STDs are a universal problem, and this requires a collective effort to solve it and a little bit of sacrifice from all. So the first level of argumentation in this debate is right of information, how this info will serve as beneficial to all. First and foremost, we actually believe that we are not going to be biased in this debate. We're going to actually implement both. We're going to integrate sex education and religion in these certain courses to avoid clashes. So what do we actually mean by this? How do we actually implement sex education and religion? So in this sex education course, we'll be required to actually teach the students about preventive measures, certain sexually transmitted diseases. We will mandate them to teach about artificial birth controls. This is mandated. And also we'll mandate them to teach about how to choose your partners, which will be elaborated further later. So we actually believe how do we actually implement this in society. So now, before I go,
we feel that it is inevitable for clashes to be encountered when you have certain religions who actually are totally against premarital sex, and you allow these students to be rendered vulnerable to this information when it actually allows them to engage in sexual intercourse at very young ages.
So I'll be discussing my second argument. So let me continue. How do we actually integrate sex education and religion in today's society in Africa setting for grade 6 students? We actually believe that by incorporating both of these values, we should actually reach an equilibrium, or we can actually reach an understanding between these two. We actually believe, yes, they're mandated to teach about artificial birth control, they're actually mandated to teach about safe sex, but we can actually allow them to inject their own religious morals. That this is what you can do, but we don't support it. We still promote abstinence, but if you have to do it, use protection area. That's what we're going to be discussing in my continuous for my first level of argumentation. We actually believe that if we integrate both of these, it will be for the better good. Because if we only teach them sex education, it will make them liberated. If we only teach them religion, it will leave them ignorant. But if we integrate both of these values in society as of now, it will serve a greater good in society as of now, regarding religion and sex education, and regarding the prevention of STDs in today's society in Africa. Seeing that Africa has the highest STD and HIV rate in society as of now, we believe this is necessary in society to actually lessen the cases in Africa of STDs. But the only way to actually start lessening these STDs or HIV in Africa as of now, and to lessen the unwanted pregnancies, is to spread information on how to do it. Because what actually happens in today's society is we actually have people who are ignorant, who actually have no knowledge about sex education or safety during sex whatsoever, just because they're bound by their religion to actually maintain their morals and to actually maintain their no, I will not use artificial birth control in their lives as of now. But before I proceed, last point, Rob.
We're expecting 6-year-old children to do premarital sex. That you expect 6-year-old children to understand standardized sex education, Mr. Chairman, members of this House. That policy seems to be not feasible.
You may be a genius, Ram, but not all grade 6 students are 6 years old. We actually believe that in today's society, we actually need to promote knowledge of STDs. Because during sex education, it promotes the knowledge of STDs. How does it do so? It actually explains what these STDs look like, explains what are the signs and symptoms, explains how you get them, explains what it feels like, explains that you're going to die if you get one. We actually believe that it's necessary in society to promote the knowledge of STDs in order to promote fear in these students. Because we actually believe that if you actually fear something, you'll avoid it. Or if you actually fear something, you'll do preventive measures and actually to avoid it. We actually believe this is what we need in society as of now in Africa. We actually need fear. We actually need to promote fear in these people. So if they're afraid of STDs, there's two possibilities. If they're afraid of them, either they won't have sex, or secondly, they'll be safe when they have sex. Because that's what we need in sex education. That's the main beauty of sex education. It teaches you how to prevent and it scares you away from it. It scares you away from sex. That's what we actually need in society as of now. We need people to fear sex, or we need people to actually be smart when they have sex. So let me go to my second level of argumentation. How STDs are universal problems in today's society, and by solving this, it requires a collective effort. So regarding Al's point earlier that there will always be a clash of ideologies. Here, I concede to that fact. But the problem in today's scenario is we can't let this be a hindrance to actually lower the cases of STD cases in Africa as of now. We actually need to take into consideration that thousands of people are dying per day just because of STDs in Africa. We have to take into consideration that STDs are rapidly spreading in Africa as of now. We have to take into consideration that thousands of people are infected with these diseases as of now. We need to take that into consideration no matter how many clashes of ideologies we have. We have to actually put this first. People are dying. What are we going to put first? Our virtues or lives? We actually value lives over virtues at the end of the day. But actually, since STDs are a universal problem in today's society, we need international intervention. We need the UN to actually intervene in Africa as of now. Africa first, maybe someplace else later. We need to focus on Africa as of now, saying that it's the most popular place, it's the highest level, it's the highest rate of STDs. We need to focus on that place first, go someplace else later. We actually believe that this knowledge can save lives. We need a collective effort from society to actually accept sex education in their society. We actually need this to happen in these scenarios and actually to have a collective effort to fight STDs, because STDs are a big problem, we need to solve them. For that, we actually believe that religion should give in for this case, saying that millions of people are dying per year of AIDS. With that, I open this debate.